Hello and welcome everyone. This is the UBL Major Season 5 and we will look at teams and analyze them and probably make fun of them again as always and try to sound smart again as always. And with me again is Mr. Pat himself.
Yo,
Yo, is the best introduction possible from a German guy.
that's the only introduction you need.
And today there's a mystic master with us. No idea who this guy is, but he just decided to join. No, it's Shiel.
Thanks a lot, Lauren.
It's Shaquille
Great.
O'Neal.
Shakila She.
Sheila
And
Sheila. All right. I haven't heard that one before. I'll give you that. That's good.
thanks. And we decided to start off with my roster to start the talk. And so I will talk a little about what I thought about my draft, and then you two guys can talk a little about what you think about the draft and give it an overall placement on your how terrifying is this to face? Is it a top five team, a bottom five team, somewhere in the middle? All right. So I started
Yeah.
off drafting Mega Metagross because I like steel types, and it's a strong steel type, and I like the offense, and everyone knows I'm all about the offense. And because
Oh,
I was getting the two picks close together all the time, like only two picks between the last guy. Um, so I always had the option to pick two mons that go together well. And so I decided to go with a Greninja because Greninja destroys Metagross and has good matching types. So Dark and Psychic comes together real nice in offense. And then I took the Clown because everyone hates Blacephalon at this point, I guess.
Ain't that the
Um,
truth?
yeah. Keldeo because I wanted fighting type, and I thought, yeah, another offense water type can't hurt because water is a great type overall. Then I took, and this is something Pat brought up to me last season. He brought Duck Trio with Blacephalon because most Blacephalon surgeons are like special wards that can't take physical hits, and so Duck Trio just dismantles those teams. And so Blacephalon and Duck Trio is a very scary combo in my opinion. Tangrowth is my first really defensive wall going together with the grass, fire, water with I have with Blastoise and Incineroar, which I picked up later. And I have the Steel, Dragon, and Fairy because I took Togekiss and Latios. Latios, a great Pokemon, just because of Levitate and Dragon and another Psychic type. So really strong in offense too. And Togeos, Latios, and Mega Metacross come together as a real nice core. And I finished the draft off with Porygon Z and making it my Z captain together with Blacephalon. Blacephalon, pretty common to use good Z moves. And Porygon Z, it's all love until a Z Hyper Beam destroys your wall. And yeah, that's something. Also, it has great coverage, so you can use a lot of different Z moves, which I do like a lot. And I thought it's the strongest Z captain next to Blacephalon in my team because Keldeo I prefer either Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, or Life Orb or something like that. Ductrio I like prefer the Focus Sash variant, and so I had no real better option in my head to get another C captain, and pointing out two is always a good idea. But now your opinions.
Go ahead.
yeah. Well, the offense is disgusting to say the least. But you have Metagross, you have Greninja, both really hard to prep for. Especially Greninja because it gets like everything. You can run special, you can run physical, you can run mixed sets. Um,
Oh, hey Ryan. What?
well, yeah, the aforementioned Blacephalon plus Dugtrio.
Hey Ryan.
Well, oh, Ryan joined us.
Yes.
Hey.
Yo.
Hey Ryan.
Uh,
He's basically not talking, but all right.
No, I'm just here to listen.
All right.
Just watching, listening. Well, yeah. So Dactrio, trapping shit like Tyranitar, Chansey, Blissey, the entire special wars. Basically everything Blacephalon hates, Dactrio traps and removes. So that makes it just even more scary.
Someone remind me, is Arena Trap actually like? I mean, season 4, I think Arena Trap was not allowed, but we've allowed it back for season 5.
It was allowed
Or
season 4 actually, if I remember correctly.
there were some issues. I think when Frank had it in previously, I don't know if he was allowed. Like there were some issues with him having it, and I wasn't like it brought up in discussion in the chat, so I wasn't sure if
I don't
Arena
know.
Trap was it. But if it is, I mean, then like yeah, you definitely have you've got your you've got the full range of its use. So
To be fair, even
sorry.
without trap, the combination of Blacephalon Dactrio is pretty useful because it hits both ends of the spectrum so hard with fast
Oh,
ones.
yeah. See, I'm just
Bandit
doing a quick
Dactrio.
search on. I'm looking at Doug Trio's base stats right now. Base 100, base 120, all things considered, pretty good. A little. Sorry, Pat. Not to. Did you have anything else to add? No, all right.
Oh no, go ahead.
All right. Word.
Ryan wasn't introduced, but this is what we do. We just talk, and if someone else talks, he
Just-
randomly just starts to talk. And if you want to talk shit, you talk shit. And if you want to say something scary, just say it.
Just
It literally
interrupt me
doesn't
or
matter.
something.
The
Yeah,
only thing I
well-
would probably add is I wouldn't have been surprised if Arena Trap was legal last season, because Shadow Tag Gothitelle was legal.
The Shadow Tech Gothite was legal and tier 5.
It was tier 5.
I remember
That's
that.
broken.
And I got it. It was great.
Oh, it was the one thing that decided to fuck over my Mega Medicham plan against you, and then you didn't make it to playoffs versus me, mate. I prepped like an entire week. I had a Medicham set prepped out just to kill Gothile and stuff like that. It would have been hilarious. And he just decided not.
Gothitelle is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh God, I remember that Gothitelle plan. The second time around, that really screwed me, Ryan. You got me good on that. What was it? It was Gothitelle, Shadow Tag, and Adrenaline Orb that like boosted.
Yeah, that was
that,
so
like,
nice.
I love how we can laugh about all the shit that happened last season because there was so many nice preps. If Ryan would have joined like Shield and Pat preparing my team sometimes, he would have died laughing because I had stuff like Focus Punch, Mega Medicham to kill the Tapu Koko switching on turn 1, which I predicted would even happen just like that. It was
you should have
great.
seen. I don't know if you saw all of Pat's prep for minors because some of those were some like some of those were works of art. Some of those were just pure madness, but it was still like amazing to watch some of those sets.
Yeah.
Hold up, I gotta pull up some teams. Hold up. Anything goes. Ah, crap! I think I deleted all of them.
Ah,
But yeah,
rip.
they were like pure madness,
Um,
pure disgusting, stupid madness.
I can tell you,
Uh,
I'm just reading up if Shadow Tag or stuff like that is allowed, but no, Arena Trap is banned because the rules say it is a standard smoke and OU tier clause apply, with the exception of bait and pass being allowed. No speed increases may be passed. So Shadow Tag is banned, but it's still a strong combo.
So Arena Trap is banned as well.
As far as I can
Uh-oh.
tell,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, so Ninja Trap is bad. Oh boy. Oh well. I mean, you still have. I mean, you still have a fast attacker regardless. So. Oh,
It's
I mean.
it's still at a strong T4, so
Oh yeah, for sure. And with Earthquake being the most spammed move out of most of the moves, and it is being the most spammed period. It's still valuable to have because there's just a lot that can't take an Earthquake.
yes.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, just the entire roster is just really, really gross.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
I mean
just look at
Mega.
the shit.
Yeah, with tough claws is the ability set a lot that bolster and most of Metagross's moves. Metagross's moves usually most of the good ones that uses initially involve contact. So like bullet punch, meteor mash, then headbutt.
Hammer
Earthquake is
arm.
like one of the few. Hammer arm, the elemental punches. Um,
Power punch.
Earthquake. I mean, it doesn't, but like it still wouldn't make a difference here. Let me pull up some. I'm pulling up Mega Gross. Now I'm calling it Mega Gross. Screw it. Let's see. If you really want the flying coverage, I mean, there's Aerial Ace, which who knows, it might save you 1 week, but just throwing it out there. With Double Edge. If you're trying to run Madness, Giga Impact. I'm just throwing like we've basically
Yeah,
listed off
man.
all the big moves. I'm just throwing out other moves that
All right,
like
you have
potentially.
you know me, you know me. There will be definitely some weird sets.
I mean, man, if you really want to, you can run like Gross Knot or random HP Fire or something.
Oh, that reminds me of
Just-
nature gift, Talonflame with the berry that
Oh
gives
man.
like grass, or 120
Yeah, man.
grass attack to kill Swamperts that are full defense. It's hilarious. You have to try it once. It's so fun.
Yeah, it was ran in Gen 6, I think, sometimes.
Yeah,
Or
I did a
like,
lot of weird shit already.
yeah, but it didn't run like Curse Pass Sylveon plus
No,
White Herb.
but I decided to. It's viable.
Who needs viable when you can run
Oh yeah,
garbage?
I took a book out
Easy.
of Ryan's pages, right? I took some
Page out
pages
of
of this
book.
book. I don't worry, my English will get better over the video. I just
Even
was
barely.
I came from work.
Just Google it.
I come from work and I work with children and they they don't know English all too well. And then they try to talk on English with me and it's hilarious. And the very fun thing is, I get home, I tell Pat, yo, I'm home at 15. And oh yeah, it's alright. I get home, I tell him I'm home, and oh, I'm going to make food right now. And I'm like, alright,
Well,
screw you.
screw you.
But no,
What
Incineroar is great with Fake Out U-Turn, another dark type.
Yeah, you too.
Intimidate is made it like the king of doubles,
Yeah,
and on top of that, just having Intimidate in general is just great. Plus, you have
yes.
Darkest Lariat to hit them, to hit through, to like hit regardless of stats, and Dark Coverage, which can't be blocked by any type. What else? I mean, Tangrowth. You got Tangrowth for like multi-purpose defense. PZ for like just like ridiculous special offense. I don't think you. The Did we confirm? Can you use Omni Boost in this season? Because in the past seasons you
Can't.
can't.
We can't, and
Um,
I still gave it the Z Captain because I decided with Blacephalon Z Captain, obviously, because Blacephalon is a great Z user. Porygon Z makes a great Z user because of its coverage, Bolt
Okay.
Beam, and stuff like that. And Pat and I already said it's all fun and games until you get hit by a Z Hyper Blast, and everything goes downhill from there.
just
130. 100.
adaptability boosted C hyper beams.
Yeah. Like you've got download if you time the download right when it goes in plus 135 base special, like you're definitely hitting something big.
Yeah, so
So
that's why I gave it Z
good cover.
Crystal.
Ninja Protein. You get your variety of coverages. Caldeo, always a good offense, good special, and good for hitting those defense relying on said special. Thanks to Secret Sword. Latios. Latio. I mean, I have a lot of because of the monotype experience. I know most of their roles there, so it's like converting to this now is a little different, but it's something that I'm getting used to. Togekiss. Oh God, Lauren, you better not be one of those guys that's running flinch every week. I swear. That's a yes. That laugh is a yes. He's definitely running flinch every week, Pat. We're so done.
Oh God.
Every slow team. That's also something. My team is very fast, and I have some great ones to punish these slow teams, like Blacephalon that snowballs out of control, and Togekiss that just pisses off people. It's great.
We
It's
don't
great.
talk about Togekiss.
We already are
We don't talk
talking
about
about it. What are you saying?
Let's drop this, John. Let's just
Lauren,
drop this.
Ryan, I hope you have something to for Togekiss because he's bringing it. He's gonna try and shut you down.
I
It's
have
gonna bring, like,
something
scoff.
for everything.
Oh God, that's right. You do prep for everything. That's
Yeah, something for everything. But Tassia has everything for everything.
I actually
I know,
remember
I've-
I ran
Green
Scarf Incineroar last season
Oh yeah, I
to
remember.
get Kartana.
Oh yeah, I ran like my playoff game really popped off. So I had a curse, and that sometimes happens in draft leagues. I have the curse where I win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, and Ryan is just the guy I never beat. And so he broke the curse for me because he came after a lose week, and I thought, so either I have the curse and I win against Ryan, which feels great, or I lose and I broke the curse and I lost and never lost a game from there. And in playoffs, it was like, okay, explosion plus Cephalon to get the only switching into circuitry and stuff like that, which honestly I was out of my mind at playoffs. I don't even know what happened. Felt great.
Explosion happened.
oh yeah. I think that's one of the things we prep for that, right? Like you just use an explosion Cephalon just to punch a hole through a team.
Yeah. So then we
Okay.
can jump to the other that. So on the great scale of teams, because obviously you can look at all of the teams, but especially like on the top part, because that's the teams I will be facing. I guess, right? It's like the divisions you face more often, and stuff like that. So on the great scale of teams, like top, bottom, middle, whatever, somewhere.
Hold on a second. Let me link the
Somewhere.
Discord to others. See if others want to actually join. So I don't think they know where to go if they do want to join for whatever reason. So I've just linked them just now.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All
nice.
right. Yeah, I always forget that. But I just tell people like, oh, I start recording. I jump in the voice and just hope someone will join and start talking.
Yeah. That's why I was like, all right. Well, I don't think everybody, because I know some people they either use Discord on their phone or they didn't download it and they'll have other people input it for them. Like I know, what was it like Kaylin and Austin were doing a lot of the inputting for people, and either just because they left picks or because people didn't have Discord. So I think if they knew where to go, I think they could definitely like listen to us just shit around.
All right.
Um,
So yeah, now back to the actual question, because we're already recording like 20 minutes and we try to make all the teams that are at least safe here in the Discord, so the draft with the owner of the team can say something about their team. And so we
yeah, sure.
shouldn't waste too much time. So a great scaling on how strong my team is, because I will definitely not say anything about it, because that would either sound arrogant or something like, oh, I think my team is bad, and then everyone will think like, why did you draft it then? So I will leave it to you guys.
Honestly, just top 3. top 3,
Yeah.
top 5, something like that.
Oh yeah,
Because
Fair, it's
honestly, what do you want to do better in a draft? Like you have everything. You have
it's true.
all your bases covered. You have a bulky backbone to support the offense. You have hazer control. You have speed. You have basically everything.
Yeah,
So
I'd say so. Like in terms of speed tiers, like at all level 100s, I see. I'm eyeballing at. I see 376 for 376, 77, whatever the exact number is for Greninja. 344 on Blacephalon. Keep in mind for anyone with like just like the top speeds if they were all timid slash jolly. Like and from these numbers that I've basically like ingrained into me just because like I've seen them like a couple billion times. But you've got definitely like an above average speed tier unlocked, like Doug Trio, Keldeo, Blacephalon, Greninja, Mega Gross, like the top 5, 6, 5 drafts so far are already like super fast. On top of that, you got Latios, and then you got Latios is like the next fastest thing. The others are like a bit on the slower side, but then again, also you've got their like balance elsewhere to like saying, but you have like solid offensive mons that aren't just glass cannon. So top 5, we got to see everybody else's. We can't put a full number to it, but I like definitely top 5, like at worst top 8, but still even then it's like it's still pretty up there, like balanced and as well as offensive.
yeah.
All right. Does Ryan want to say something, or is he, again,
Tilt.
waiting for a better day?
No, I think the team is good. There's a couple concerns that I have that I could see becoming problems later down the line. But I do think it's a upper half team.
All right. So I guess we will just jump to the Ducklets because that's also
Oh,
in the
God.
yellow division. And then we will jump to Ryan's team because it is also in the yellow division. And I already see it, both on Ula Ula division, so you will
Oh gee,
definitely
thanks,
face off.
Lauren.
Ah, yeah, no problem.
Oh gee, 30, not even 30 minutes in, he's already trolling. I swear. How do you deal with this guy, Pat?
I
It's all good. I'm trolling. It's I don't actually.
you think I'm trolling now? Wait until you see when we have to face off, mate.
Oh God, I don't even want to know the schedule at this point.
All right. So Pat,
Anyways,
give
yeah,
us a run through your draft.
Honestly, if I would say I had a plan, I would lie. So, well, the first pick was Magana because I was pretty far down in the draft list. So, basically, rather than taking a decent tier 1 at first, I wanted to get essentially the best tier 2 possible. Because honestly, I was afraid to get sniped on this. Yeah, well, the next pick is Lugia because it pairs well with Magerna. Honestly, just the two of them are already a pretty damn good defensive core. Gyarados was honestly just. I was looking for a high tier dog type, and I was looking at the tier list, and I was like, yeah, well, let's get Gyarados, not seeing that there are like Mega Sableye or something like that. So I just picked it without thinking about it too much.
You put up a free agency trade for Mega Sableye for week 2, right?
Yeah, I did trade away Mega Gyarados for Dragonite, and Como for Mega Sableye. Mega Sableye plus Lugia is just really, really good because Mega Sableye gives you hazer control basically the entire time it's alive. And Lugia appreciates that because, like, if rocks never go up, then multi-scale is pretty safe.
This sounds like the best friendship, and Lugia appreciates that.
Lugia loves it. Yeah.
Lugia enjoys.
Yeah.
Shut up,
Lugia
okay?
approves.
Just be quiet, okay? Well, Among Us. There's not much to talk about that. Just a fat grass type, poison type to absorb like toxic spikes, shit like that. Raikou because I needed speed at that point because my team was incredibly slow. So I wanted a fast electric type, and Raikou was free, so I just got Raikou. The next pick I got sniped a lot because at first I wanted Entei for a good fire type, or Arcanine, or Damanitan. Well, all three of them got sniped, so yeah, I got Victini instead.
While you're talking about your team, I have to go really shortly. I'm back really soon.
All right.
So don't wonder if I'm not shit talking.
Oh, that will come. That will come. Well, Diggersby is Diggersby. I needed something to break shit, so and I was lacking a normal and ground type, so I just got both in one pick. Vaporeon, bulky water, my second water type basically. It's a really good cleric, like wish passing for Magana, Hebel for Lugia, and stuff like that. Yeah, just a really good support one.
Alright, I'm back.
Well, that was really fast. Where was I? Yeah, Cryogonal. I didn't really think about that pick as much, to be honest. I just wanted a rapid spinner or something, and I lacked the ice type, so I just got Cryogonal because it's fast, it can spin, it can defog.
There was a lie in your sentence. You said you lag an ice type, but I think that's a great strength, not having an ice type. Because fuck ice type's defense.
No. Yeah, but you kind of need the coverage for like Landorus elements, for dragons especially. Especially if like your one fairy Magana is slow as fuck. So yeah. For the last pick, I got sniped like 3 times or something.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Like I wanted Lycanroc Dusk that got sniped by Phil after not picking for 6.5 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Which
Oh my
was
goodness.
kind of painful.
I found it hilarious that like the two Germans who were the most like concerned, like, oh my god, they're in a different time zone. They're gonna hold us all up, and then it wasn't. Not the problem children after all.
Well, the next idea was neither queen or neither king. Well, both of them got sniped. So my like fourth backup was Aerodactyl, and well, I got Aerodactyl, thank God.
You did.
So yeah, it's just a fast rock type, fast rock setter. Because I knew before I made my last pick, I knew I wanted to make these trades I did. So I just got a fast, really fast rock type. Yeah, so that's how this whole mess came to be, I guess.
So the thing that she said is it didn't prioritize Aerodactyl, but I think it fits your team better than Lycanroc at this point because at least it's really fast, so you can outspeed some great mons. Because your team was really on the slow side,
No.
on the I'm gonna take a hit but punch back harder side of the game, and that works totally fine with stuff like Magana or Lugia because they do take hits non-stop. But I think it really assists your team giving the edge they needed with the great speed from Aerodactyl.
Yeah, that speed tier is excellent. 394 makes it about as fast as like things like Tapu Koko, Crobat, a couple others. So it's a pretty fast Pokemon in terms of stats. I'm pulling up Arrow. No, is a concern for you, but still 105 attack, and what's with Rockhead? Like, definitely do some good work. And if you're trying to do PowerPoint stall, then pressure is never not your friend. Or if you know that somebody can use berries potentially, like when you've got Unnerve as just a backup. So like you've got options there more than you would think.
I like how you may try to make these very bad abilities look great. I do enjoy that. I do enjoy that. I really like that.
No, but
I mean, some of them. I mean, to be fair, everything has got its place.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
like knowing Pat, like there will be a time when like one of those quote unquote bad abilities can actually like be of worth. I feel.
I'm
Well, like
just
he can make
I'm
he
just
can.
waiting. I'm just waiting on this Aerodactyl to take a hit from Mega Metagross.
oh god, not even I am that gross. Come on, man.
All
I just
right.
realized that Pat, as a week two, Pat will have both the multi scalers. So having that Mega Sableye is definitely gonna be of help. Because keeping that full HP up is gonna be key. And on top of that, they both get roosts, so that's gonna be something scary to look out for. If nothing can break them, especially Lugia.
Just gonna run like fat Dragon Dance, Dragonite or something.
Or
Like
just
max
arrow.
HP or something.
I'm just waiting for him to never run Dragon Dance on it and always just playing like Defog, Roost, Toxic, and like Aqua Jet for the water priority.
Yeah,
And
because
then
why not? Yeah,
Crystal on
what
top
is
of it.
extreme speed when you have Aqua Jet? Like really?
Yeah, it's great, great.
I should probably mention that Dragonite is one of my Cmons, so um, yeah, I should probably run some offense on it.
Nah,
I guess.
it's Z Roost for the stat return, obviously.
Obviously, of course. What else?
In my opinion, this is a really strong team. We basically on a scale and offense and defense. Pat builds the defense spectrum end. Like he's the very end of defense. He loves his defense. And on offense, I am the very end. Like I love my offense. I love to hit face really hard and all the time. So yeah, there's two different approaches, and both really give out a strong team. Like two teams that are very much feared in their own regards.
Oh yeah, like yeah, I see. Like Pat has got a lot of bulk to him, and on top of that, elemental coverage is just about everywhere. Like have to look a little closer. I don't. There's not many. There's no like single like gaping flaw on the team, and I think in terms of coverage, I think he's got in terms of type coverage. I'm saying I think in terms of defense, like he's definitely got defense. He can play he can easily play a very versatile, bulky offense game, a hyper offense potentially, just depending on how he styles this particular mons. But like
Yes,
I mean, with
the
Magirna, with
casual
Raiko.
hyper offense Among Us.
Wait,
Uh,
I run like
Choice Specs
Specs
Giga Drain.
Amogus. I bring like Specs Among Us versus you.
I'm
And
just waiting
like
for it, bro.
made
it's gonna.
Trick Room Magana plus Choice Specs Among Us.
Honestly,
Just
Oh my goodness,
shitting
huh?
all over your team.
honestly, Trick Room is probably the greatest fear for my team. But then again, what Trick Room setup wants to live?
hmm No, there's a couple. I mean, there's a couple I see. I'm not sure if Lugia gets it, but I think Lugia. I wouldn't be
I don't
surprised if
even
it
know.
does.
I don't know.
Um,
Yeah.
there's a lot more. But there's like a lot of room for Pat to play. Like, you can definitely play out a longer game than some people on the draft. Like, some will have like only a limited window with the offense that they have, or if any fragile mons that they might have. Whereas like Pat, at least it can be durable for the long term. And like some of his mons are breakers. Like he's got Mega Gyarados to break, Magirna to set up and break,
But he doesn't have Mega
You
Gyarados.
Raikou.
forgot I traded Mega Gyarados away.
Oh, you did. You traded it for
He has
the
Dragonite as a
for
good
Dragonite.
breaker. Raikou can break some teams.
My bad.
Mag can definitely break teams.
Magana
Right.
can break pretty easily.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
be fair.
Oh, and with Soul Heart, like just once you generate that momentum, it sometimes that's game. Victini is definitely like going to be something to watch out for. Not only does it get U-turn momentum, but that V create with Band, if he really wants to play Sun gimmicks by setting something up, like that could still be like a concern if he just wants to destroy shit. He's got
Son.
V create alone without adding a band or
Yeah,
even putting the sun above head is still gonna hurt. Like, but then adding those things is just gonna make it like something that'll break through anything that doesn't have flash fire.
yeah, basically. And like you also get like Bolt Strike or stuff like that.
Yeah, because
because of the-
otherwise shit
Great.
like Blastoise, Mega Blastoise and stuff like that would get really annoying. And it also gets
Yeah.
Grass Knot, right?
Yeah,
Was
I
it
don't even.
gets like
so
Energy Ball, Grass
yeah.
Knot.
So really strong
So
moves of all.
yeah, and like
It
that's
gets
not. We haven't even like included its psychic coverage yet, and so which doesn't have anything short of shock, Psyshock for for defense, psychic for special def. I mean, you've got like Victini is a hidden gem, I think, just because with all of its coverage.
Oh, definitely.
like you could even run like Final Gambit or something.
You
If you
could,
really want to get rid of something.
yeah, you could
you
run.
know, someone is crazy when he suggests Victini with Final Gambit, just out of the nowhere.
Oh, we know, but we do
We
pass
both
crazy.
know.
But that's what we love about Pat, right? No one says
But we can
right, so I'm not right, I guess. All
I
right.
mean, you are right. Like, but like knowing him, like we know that he's a fan of pulling surprises that actually can work and like they have like with given the right placement. So like even suggesting some of these crazier options, like I would not be surprised if you'd see some of them just being run all of a sudden, and that would be the game. That would be like the pivotal points in the game because of that. So like we say them, we laugh about them, but you never know. I think he could easily bring them, just
Yeah.
knowing his play style. So
Yeah. So
definitely in terms of rating, definitely like definitely definitely in the top 8. I'm only giving the range just because we've got 16 drafts here, and it's going to be hard to nitpick all of them until we've done them all.
yeah, I think on the very end, when I've finished within like 2 or 3 videos, we will just give our top 5 with a short reasoning. So there's a top 5 person for each person, from us 3 especially, I guess, who just with a short explanation. So after the top 5 from us 3 within like 30 minutes, each take 10 minutes or something like that. That will really show again how we think about the draft and how different approaches may result in different top teams. because I'm quite sure Patrick fears other teams more than I do, while I fear different teams.
Honestly, I don't really fear any team. Well, I fear Shield's team.
Oh boy.
I
Yo,
actually
you want to
fear this
talk about
team.
my team again? All right.
Well, it looks crazy at first, but I think I got something. I
I
might
like it.
have. I don't know
All
yet.
right. We will see.
I see.
So then next is Ryan's draft, and if Ryan wants to talk about his draft first himself, that he's fine to go.
All right. So a lot of the stuff that I wanted for the first pick got sniped, shockingly enough. But I was looking at Aegislash for a while, and I really like how it's going to do in draft because it can go physical or special offense, and it can take advantage of its defensive stats and shield form in either defense. So I think I'll be getting a lot of use out of that. Next thing, I paired it up with Palkia. Starting up the Dragon Steel Fairy Core. I also like how it can quad resist the fire attacks that will be coming Aegislash's way. I also like I like its speed tier, and I also like its support moves like T-Wave. The next two, Mega Aerodactyl and Zera Aura. I actually used this combo in another draft, and I really, really liked it. Their speed tiers are insane. So I can run Adamant or Modest most weeks, which I love. And I also liked how Aerodactyl does really well against a lot of the tier 1 and tier 2 mons. Whether it just outspeeds and just kills it with stab or coverage or whatever, right? Roserade. I mean, at this point, I didn't really have a plan at this point. I just picked what I thought would go well. So I like Roserade. I like the Technician, HP Fires, any hidden powers for the most part. T-Spikes, Poison to absorb the T-Spikes. Florges for Defog. Cleric. Good Fairy just overall. Necrozma. I've been wanting to use Necrozma for a while, actually. It also gave me another Stealth Rocker. It powered on just being fat as possible. And I really needed a ground type.
And another rock setter, obviously.
Yep. Scrafty. I really needed fighting and dark on my team. And it also gets Intimidate or Shed Skin for some bulk up shenanigans. Ditto is just really good in draft, just in general.
Fully agreed.
I was aiming for Ditto for a long time, actually. Like pick 3, I'm like, I want Ditto.
I mean,
and I think it's gonna shine even more with all the Ubers that are coming.
Oh God! Oh my goodness! Especially some of those are set up. Oh boy. Sorry, continue.
And Torkoal. I needed a fire type, and I also wanted some more hazard removal, especially a spinner. So I went with Torkoal. Has a bunch of support moves, Yawn, Rapid Spin, Stealth Rocks, all kinds of good stuff. If I really wanted to, I could also run like a Shell Smash set.
This Love Tatsu will bring it every week.
Shell Smash.
Bro, it's Yawn, Shell Smash, sweeping the enemy team.
Oh
yeah. But on top of like on like pretty high defense for a fire type, which is like still great.
Shield, did you laugh at my suggestion of Yawn double Shard Smash?
Dude,
Can we
Pat and
make
I.
clear that he has to lose to that now?
Hold up though. Like Pat and I, we've been playing, and even like Pat, Ryan, we've been playing mono for so long. We know that like Torkoal is like the fixture on every mono fire team.
Yes,
So like
yes.
using Yawn, Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock, Lava Plumes, Toxic, like these are like support moves that I laugh at because it's just like these are so like key for Torkoal. Its roll compression is phenomenal.
But definitely. I play a little mono, not as much as you theory think, but a little. I'm getting used to it now, and I see Torko on nearly basically every fire team, and it's really annoying sometimes.
Exactly. Like there's so
Well,
much that it can do that it's such a fixture for fire.
But again,
yeah, like
you see as in a low tier because it is it is slotted because most people don't even expect what it can do, and obviously there are other stronger mons in it. But I think it's sometimes even underrated that people laugh at it. But for its low tier, it's a pretty good mon.
Yeah, and like
yeah,
with Ryan's like overall elemental coverage, like I think he has a lot where he has a lot of good options, especially with like tier 5 like now merged into like the previous like tiers 3 and 4 in the previous drafts. Is like so there's a lot more versatility in the quote unquote tier 5 that like lets him adjust the pieces as needed. So he'll get more use out of his draft.
Yeah, and he's, I think, the one of the few, if not even the only person to not use all points. 3 persons did not use all points.
I see
So
Ryan
he even
hasn't.
could
I see.
upgrade. He could even upgrade his team even more.
Well,
Yeah.
the reason why I had leftover points was because in the higher tiers, I didn't really want anything in them.
Yeah,
yeah,
makes
tier 3
makes
is
sense,
like
honestly.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like you've got plenty of scary things. Not gonna lie, you got. I mean, Palkia. I just looked up Palkia's stats and on top, like with 150 special attack and just like, and I mean, if you really wanted to like run mixed coverage one or 2 weeks, like you've got 120 base attack to do that. Speed tier is just about average, but still like 328. Just like still pretty. It's still pretty fast and like as like a baseline. Defense stats all around. Like Palkia is pretty solid pick. I had my eye on it in the beginning, but I wasn't sure because I was still like with some of the obvious things going first, like Mega Lucario, Marshadow. Actually Zygarde 100 went a little later than I thought it would. Ho-Oh,
Ivysaur.
Evital.
Yeah,
Like
so
some like it's like it's a much better tool than you would than some of the people give it credit for, I think. And plus with its own like version of Aeroblast that it can spam spatial rend like with that critical hit ratio. Like if you're going for like an all out offense, like this could be like that could be problematic.
Does it get
Based,
like focus energy or something?
I believe so. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
why the fuck
Really?
is Pat
Energy. Never
already
mind.
thinking about a full crit Palkia?
Oh, focus. You said focus
Because
energy.
that's what I
My
do.
bad. I thought you said
Mate,
focus blast for a second. My mistake.
I was already thinking like the moment I saw Torkoal, I was thinking Trick Room Palkia plus like Eruption Torkoal.
Oh boy.
That sounds
Oh my god.
hilarious.
A
Like
drought
my mind
route
went
erupt.
immediately to that.
Oh my goodness. Nonstop like Thunderwave, Toxic. If you
Yeah,
want to, if you want to be that guy, that Ryan, you have pressure for like with Toxic Whirlpool, and pressure on top
also
of
really
pressure. So just like, oh my
Alright,
goodness.
like
You know
Mari,
what?
just like
Okay, yeah, I should probably stop talking before Ryan comes up with some madness, all madness.
I think he already is all madness, so there's nothing to come up for him now anymore.
This is
like
this
Just run Wincune, but with Palkia.
I've seen some of the most creative sets ever from Ryan. Honestly, that's also something I really enjoy about the battles against him. Even though I always lost so far, and I hope to change it this season. We will see. Uh, it still is like it always feels fun to play him because there's stuff you don't expect. Like when you see a Gothile on the enemy team, you don't expect it to even remotely take 2 neutral hits from like Mega Medicham on Adamant. But it did. It just did. It was sitting there like, yeah, this is fine. Don't worry about it.
This is fine.
And shit like that really
I expected
interesting.
when I went up against him the second time, I sent Lando against him thinking, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna smash this thing, and it pulled that adrenaline orb tech, and I got floored. I was like, wait, what the hell just happened? And then I looked up. I went back because I used the adrenaline orb, and it's been a while since I played Sun Moon. I'm like, what did people use adrenaline orb for again? I was like, so it used it to like draw out for those chain captures or whatever they were to look for shinies and stuff. And like, I was like, I did not expect to see that in draft. So
Yo,
yeah, I was.
if you want a mad lad draft idea I had, because I had to help a guy who had a really shitty team, and he had nothing to hit like really cover up one flying type. And so what I did was I gave him or played against him with this team with this team a t-shirt build for the enemy to see what he fears most. And I came up with a Liepard with heavy ball, however it's called, and tricked over the heavy ball so the thing lost its levitate. It wasn't flying, it was levitate. It lost its levitate, so it gets hit by earthquake and one shot later on because it was Rotom Wash. Um, and that's the thing I expect from Ryan every time I face it. Like the most absurd things to kill, even the last possible mon to destroy. It's crazy.
Oh man, that's yeah. I'm not looking for. I faced Ryan and I have been in the same conference or same division in the last 2 seasons. Is the first time we're in a different division, but so I'm hoping that in the 12 weeks I don't end up against Ryan because I know I'm gonna be like on my. It's like I'm gonna be on guard for like these crazy techs that like can actually can cripple teams very well. So gotta watch that.
Yeah, and I'm very interested because I feel like a lot of the split between the divisions is like I watch some teams and I don't know why, but I feel like on a different division my team would do better. But I just get like these divisions where my team is like having up some tough competition for my draft. And yeah, so but I think let's hope I will manage because then I would be the first champ to actually return to playoffs, but we will see.
Also, we have on a side note, we got Darian joining us. He's currently muted right now, but
But he
hey,
saw
Darian.
Endgame. But he saw Endgame.
Party's high game.
Uh,
So yeah, overall I think. Oh, Daniel's also here. Hi, Daniel.
hey, Dank.
So overall, I think
Hey.
Ryan's team is really up there on the like things to watch. That's also the thing of Ryan's drafts. I always feel like, okay, this draft doesn't look as scary to me. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's like this very strong draft that you have to fear. But overall, he can pull out a lot of a lot of every mon he drafts, and that's something to watch out for. And so I have a really tough time to think about how he would overall his team ranks. I do like it, but I see a few things where I'm like, well, I don't know about this, but we will see.
Got some pieces to make it work though. I'm like, so I'm sure. like knowing the innovation, like he'll be able to make a lot of these work. And like he has like some solid fast attackers and some of them with breaking ability. So it's like those definitely are a concern. If all else fails, like he can definitely still lean on those. Even if it is a bit like even if on some fronts that like there is some predictability, like sometimes even like the simple stuff is always like has never fails. It's like when in doubt, like in the past we've seen in minors that like even people who like don't run, like even if they run the simplest tactics, like they can still be the most effective. But then if they try to go creative and not have any logic, or just thinking that like it'll somehow pay off, if they don't construct it with any good rationale, then it falls apart. But like, so I know, but knowing Ryan, I think he can definitely make some of those out of left field tactics definitely stick. If not, like he still has solid personnel on his team. So yeah, I'd also put it up there as well as like got top, it's like top 8 for sure. I'm really interested to see how your draft is gonna perform overall, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely same. And also what a mad life strategies he will come up again with. He will be the absolute mad lad again.
Adrenaline Worm Necrozma coming your way.
Coming to your shops today. This laugh is really scary. It's like this diabolic laugh about I'm gonna destroy your teammate.
And look at this. We got a full audience now. Membership is now just doubled in the last like 5 minutes. We got Darius, we got David, Darian, and Daniel. Also, everyone whose name starts with D.
Yeah, I don't know why is Daniel tagged me with like, dang, Lauren sounds like this too. I don't know what he's trying to say, but alright.
Testing.
Alright.
How cool this works.
Crazy.
Darian.
I was gonna say if my team came up, I'd like to talk about it, but I can wait.
So I basically promised to do Shield next, and I'm not sure how I will jump.
Well, no,
because
I'm saying is I don't mind going like super last, but as long as I get a chance to talk about it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sure, yeah.
So I will everyone who wants to talk about their own draft can always just write me. I have to eat dinner like somewhere in between this, but because there's so many people here, you can also just talk over it. But so now we jump to Shield's team. Shaquille or Shield, talk about your team.
Shield.
All right, I'm up. Let's see. So man, my draft is. I wasn't sure how I felt about my draft in the end. Like, it says some good, some bad, but like, I guess I'll just go from the beginning. Just picking as a starting point. Like, I went considering all my options. Like, I ultimately went with Mewtwo because I figured that like the amount of coverage plus the high special attack and speed is like, even if all else, like kind of what I was saying about Ryan and about and somewhat about Pat. Like, if I have an all-out attacker at like when all else fails, like I know I can still lean on Mewtwo. Let's see. Then I went down. Then.
Oh yeah, before you keep talking, I have to shout at you. Fuck off, mate.
What?
I told you. Oh no, Tapu Lele is strong duo with Mewtwo. It's a really good combo. And he was like, I'm not sure. Pat, what do you think? And Pat was like, lol, Tapu Lele with Mewtwo is great. And she was like, oh yeah, it's great. And I'm like, dude,
I tell you your opinion.
What the fuck?
I tell you your opinion, Lauren. Dude, I'm in a. I can take multiple opinions, but anyways, I pair with that because under advisement by Lauren and Pat, and mostly Lauren. Are you happy now?
Finally, look, you can do it. It's great.
Anyways, so I picked it because putting psychic terrain just helps. Just for one thing, stops my team from being destroyed by sucker punch spam, and also like just priority in general. And since the majority of my draft is grounded, except for a couple, like that'll definitely be an asset, because like if I can exploiting speed plus power, and like, so on that regard, like I have Mewtwo and Lele paired together for that, plus psychic boost to Psy Strike, to like it's basically a stronger Psy Shock, and letting Mewtwo attack without being intercepted by something with priority. T3, like the next pick I had was Garchomp. I had my eye on Tyranitar. I figured I might need a Dark type at a point, and just so I don't get destroyed by Ghost Spam. And it was there, and I saw Garchomp available, and I figured I could do a lot with Garchomp. Plus, having a dragon plus a fairy, I'm already getting started on that Dragon Steel Fairy core. On top of that, like Garchomp is usually, like in the regular drafts or in the previous drafts, Garchomp has always been one of the first ones to go. So at least like I'm keeping that versatility open. Then after that I went with Skarmory. I was looking at just like getting a solid steel type and also like having some backbone to my team. So I'm like, Skarmory does all that on top of its typing, which not only does it, like in terms of the Dragon Steel Fairy Core, like I won't be vulnerable to ground. I'll have to switch out, but like I'll be a little worried about ice, but it won't be. I'll just be playing carefully as we go. On top of having a defogger, spike setter, rock setter, I've got plenty. And if I really wanted to go with shenanigans, it's got weak armor to like use some offensive stuff on. But like I don't know, it's gonna depend on the matchup. After that, this was my weird pick, Mega Shark. I have some mixed feelings about it. I like it. I can have like a semi setup attacker because speed boost will do that for me. But I still have to play that carefully. But like once I use it, once I go mega, I lose speed boost. So that's why it's kind of a concern. But that said, like having moves like Psychic Fangs and Crunch to break through, Psychic Fangs especially for breaking apart Reflect and Light Screen. And just being a good just having good physical coverage all around. It's kind of iffy because it is kind of fragile. Darmanitan also fragile, but is a really high attack plus U-turn momentum. So, and on top of being physical fire, so burning is out of the question. Sheer force on top of like flare blitz and rock slide, like will help me like put a dent in teams. Rotom Mo. So Rotom Mo not only like lets me finish up gives me water, fire, and a grass core, but I also get an electric one that can Volt Turn and Levitate. So anything that was vulnerable to ground, like I can use this as a pivotal point as well. So I've got both U-turn, I've got Volt Turn. The next pick I had was Chansey. It's like now I have a physical wall in Skarmory. I have a special wall in Chansey. On top of using Wish, Soft Boil, Thunder Wave. I can have it as Rock Setter if needed, but I've got a couple others that can fill that role as well. So but if need be, like I can keep the game fresh by having like all of these different roles. So I have versatility there. After that, I went with Buzzwole because I did need a fighting type, and I did need a fighting type that can break through. Plus with Beast Boost, it can, depending on how I play, it could be something. It could be a game ender. It could be, but being able to break through with that is like 139 base attack is still like plus coverage. Sorry, I know I'm going kind of fast, just kind of covering all my bases. Oh, and side note to Lauren, I drafted an alien as well, so you're not the only one. Because I know you love your aliens. And then the last two picks, I took Suicune, old favorite of mine from the last two. A more reliable water pick. On top of that, having like there's some coverage there that's exploitable, like having Scald, Ice Beam, like especially, and like with its defensive stat and like the Vincoon set, Vincoon, Crocoon, like are already like the rest talk, like the Calm Mind sub and the rest talk sets, like some of those can like make Suicune a really ugly wall, and but like with decent special attack. And then the last pick I struggled a bit with, but ultimately went with Umbreon because I can add more. I can get some clerical ability there. Having stable dark coverage, so that's why I've been like saying before that I was like iffy with Mega Shark because like I needed some reliable ones. That said, well, that said, let's see what happens, and let's see. Like, just I may burn some free agency transactions. On that note, I also put Garchomp and Rotom Mo as my 2Z coverage as my users. So yeah, that's my draft. I'll open it up to the rest of you commenting.
All right. So I'm just dropping in and saying, so the Mewtwo Lele combo is obviously disgusting and absolutely mad life dirty, and it's crazy strong. The rest of the team is pretty good. It gives a great like backbone to those two. Like those two are like your top it all off. You can put it on everything on every team, and it will always somehow work out. And the rest of the team is just like a stable foundation for those two to function, and putting up uh, their their work, right? But well, the one thing you mentioned with this, which is the Chansey Skarmory combo, I actually dislike the fact that you don't even have a ghost, because you open yourself up to strong fighting attacks. So there will be like Mega Lucario will not have the biggest problem to break through both of those, for example. And that's said. So it really, I think what would put up your team higher up would be a ghost, in my opinion. So the like for the Umbreon, like a good tier 5 ghost, because then there's only a few mons that can really tear down these three defensive Pokemon to get to the damage dealers and just wear them down with like overall continuous damage. Yeah, he does have Mewtwo, but it doesn't allow him to switch into every single fighting attack, and like a ghost would always just flat out make fighting attacks like worthless and even a risk if it's something like high jump kick.
Yeah, that's
Another
a
thing
fair.
I have a problem with is Skarmory and Chansey in particular, and I'm also going to include Umbreon on this, is that they're pretty passive, which allows setup sweepers to set up on them and then potentially sweep the rest of the team relatively easy.
Yeah, that's also something. So, which is one reason why I never like Skarmory. It's like I don't even like it on ladder, and I know it's a great mon. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer mons that just keep your momentum up and just keep on running the game. And with these ones, you just put yourself like behind and say, okay, let's see what you do, and then I will react. And
Yeah,
also,
it's
Darian, we can hear your music.
Not my music. Not my music.
There's something in the
Like 1
background.
second. I know.
Yeah, obviously, it's always execution.
Yeah, like
the H Omen prefers momentum more at 11. Yeah, I don't even know what you mean HO man. Did you look at my team? It's so defensive. You can never tear it down. No. So yeah,
well, there's some things to consider though.
yes,
Yeah, definitely. Like especially if I want to dip into the free agency, see if I can get more mons that aren't as passive, but like given
like
what's left. But
like
it's
let's
it's
see
still all good.
the tier 5 thing which I said I like. There are definitely I'm quite sure there are ghosts that are still up. Give me a sec. So
yeah,
yeah, that
like
like Dusclops isn't a bad ghost in my opinion. It's also very defensive, but it can take a lot of hits. I
you
don't
have
know
too
if
much passive stuff.
I don't know if Gigas is up, but that's also a nice defensive Pokemon.
Akafa's gone, I think.
Yeah, it's gone. Sad life for you. But like,
Eh,
uh,
Good.
so these these
And
like
Patrick's sitting there about
something that was
listening about
booked.
sniping, and he's just like, bro, you want sniping? Hold my beer for a second, and I'll tell you all about sniping.
Mega Sharpedo is in my opinion no worries about the background noise, Darren. Yeah, Mega Torpedo can be on the fast side. It depends on how the opponent reacts to it. If you can force it out with every mon, it's I see it with the Cloister syndrome. Cloister as a sweeper is only good if your opponent doesn't have an answer and is actually every single mon to just kill it outright. And so, what I do always against people that have cloister, and I'm afraid of when I'm afraid of cloisters, I just have something to on every mon to kill it. I put up a grass knot on crocodile to one-shot cloister. So that's how far this tech can go.
Oh,
So yeah,
God.
also, what Daniel said is very true. It's on the slow side otherwise, with Mewtwo being pretty fast, Lele, and with Choice Scarf, obviously, but it's not a great fast Scarf Pokemon. And so they are so different. I don't know. It's like the fast ones are you don't have like the high speed fast one to like get these strong clean revenge kills against all teams. Like which like Greninja for example is a Pokemon that usually outspeeds most of the opposition, and so you can get a lot of revenge kills with it very cleanly. And I think your team lacks that a little. That said, I don't think it's as needed on your team as on other teams because your team is madly scary already and can deal with
Like,
most opponents within like one hit and don't need revenge kills. Yeah,
wait, are we
Tensei.
looking at the are we actually looking at the same rosters here?
Oh boy.
Honestly, Mewtwo has really high speed, and he has
Yeah, obviously.
so many monsters can like just be Scarf or something, and Sharpedo can clean. Really, Garchomp, especially as a Simon, can like uh, break shit apart for like Mewtwo and Lele. Um, like this roster doesn't even have to have these crazy fast ones because honestly, how fast do you want them to go? Because Mewtwo has base 130
Yeah, like
speed, so
again, outside of Mewtwo, you have to take all my words, Pat, not apart.
yeah,
Take all of the words, hear them out.
Oh,
I mean,
I've been
honestly,
looking at your draft, Lauren. Not gonna lie, Mewtwo already like with Mewtwo, I kind of just already outspeed everything on yours. So kind of shooting yourself in the foot a little bit there. That your fair point. I can't rely on Mewtwo all the time, but like just for shooting the shit, like I'm just on base alone.
honestly, so what appreciates a Psy Strike in terrain?
No one does. I think that's like the first thing, and I thought Mewtwo and Tapu Lele is like, well, pack out the dark types because we are going to Psy Strike Town. And yeah, I'm
And
very
even
glad you
then,
are in a different division than I am because our rosters are so like. I think if we face off this season, I don't know, it will be a great war because it's like those teams just have options to like pull each other out of their comfort zone and just dismantle the other team, and it's a game of execution at that point.
Yeah,
And
for
so yeah.
sure. Which is why like what Darian was saying about some of the passive elements is like it's going to be like an execution game if I keep my team as passive with like some of those like more passive ones.
Wasn't that
Like
Ryan
I'll
who said
definitely
that?
Yeah, I didn't say.
no, it was my bad, my bad. Now
Darren
we got a
probably
full
didn't
freaking
say
audience.
something. Yeah, Darren
Oh,
probably didn't say something because he's laggy AF. Also,
we got
yeah,
a full
something that I want to
full
point
audience
out
now.
on Mewtwo, which is it's super fast, true, yeah, but it's like this wasted scarf if you put a scarf on it, and so it gets outspeed by scarf mons that can revenge kill it. And that's something I dislike about Mewtwo. That's the sole reason why I didn't even look at it. Because, I don't know. It's something I just don't enjoy about Pokemon. Because it's like you don't scarf like Zeraora, for example, on most games at least. So
Is that a challenge?
because yeah. Oh, all right. Like Pat, shut up.
Was it a challenge?
Just for
Because
you, I'm going
you're
to
just
scarf
like
my Mewtwo and
yeah,
outspeed
but
everything.
that's the thing. Like so, and also Mewtwo, you don't want to scarf it because of the great coverage it has, right? So
Exactly. Like there's one like it doesn't need the scarf. I mean, it's in a position where like it can appreciate like a variety of items, and I'm just and even that like because of its X form, like it does have some like decent. I mean, I can't use the X or Y forms obviously, but I'm just throwing out like because I have like some physical options to like I have some physical options if I want to run a mixed set and like because it's special attack like I could run all physical plus Psy Strike like as mixed attacker if need be, or just I could if it's just based on the opposition, like I could run all physical and I wouldn't be like lacking. But it's gonna be variable. There's a lot of variables that go into this. Part of the reason why I both like it draft frustrates, but also like the reason I enjoy it.
yeah, so don't get me wrong, your team is still plenty of scary enough, but that's like the things I like the few things I think could pull it like on the very tippity top of the draft list. Like if there would be a ghost type on this team and like maybe like another fast finisher you can scarf, I would like definitely say it's easily top one. Like this draft is still like mad strong. And like the defensive the defensive part of the draft will not enjoy facing your team because they just get dismantled by the pure power of your Pokemon. We have a lot of huge damage dealers. Buzzhole has a lot of attack. Domaniton just destroys. Sharpedo can deal a lot of damage. Tapu Lele and Mewtwo are obviously insanely strong in damage. So yeah, that's like what I think it all comes about. So and the offensive side really have to like pick their time to kill or damage your offensive Pokemon, and you can keep up this pressure for a long time, and that's really scary. So yeah, like top three teams definitely.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
if like with like two little swaps, like something like two little things, that's not even a huge thing. Definitely top one for me, but that's just my opinion, obviously.
Sounds good. I'll definitely keep those in mind when I go like going into the draft, or like as the draft goes on. But if anyone else wants anything to add, if not, we can move to another one.
All right. So we have. I'm just keeping a list because we have now done um these four. Obviously, because these were the first four to join. No guarantee to it, KO. All right. The twisted spoon, boys. The twisted spoon.
Twisted
Wait a
spoon.
second, sorry. I need
Planes
to.
of losers.
I'm gonna mute for. I'm gonna mute for a bit. I'm gonna step away. Just got a couple things to take care of around the house, but I'll be back.
All right. So I
Okay.
will just say which draft we will talk about next, and then I'm gone for a short moment, and when I'm back, I will talk about the draft too. So since Darian already was like, yeah, I really want to talk about my draft, so let's open up the stage for Darian's team, which I don't even know the name of right now.
Oh, okay. So
Is it the Score Bunnies?
no, that's
All right.
that's
That's
hard
for
to
sure.
know.
So wait,
They just
let me
see
let me see.
I'm C.
St. Louis Cedra. Yeah. I
So
So I'm going to be gone for like a short time, but I'm back really soon.
Should I wait for you then?
Just start off. I think I can catch up on what you said, and I can watch the video myself later on and stuff like that. So no worries.
Okay. Also, to start off, I wanted a rebranding. I Ducklets because it's modeled after my favorite hockey team. But when Iggy to majors, I let him take Ducklets, and so I took a rebranding and took the St. Louis Cedro, which is modeled after another hockey team. Around Mega Manetric, it's my favorite Mega because it's yellow and my favorite color is yellow. Weird logic, and yellow translates to, and well, I like Mega Manetric because it's the best electric type Mega out there. Yeah, I don't. I really, I
a
really,
lot of competition.
I really don't like my team mainly because I could not adapt to any of the during the draft to me because there were quite a bit. To support Mega Manetric, I figured, okay, let's start off with the flying type. I was number 5 out of 16, so I really wanted to take Yveltal, but so I decided to take the next best flying type, which was Ho-Oh. I really like Ho-Oh. It's a good fire type to start off with. I think then it makes me but I just really love Ho-Oh. I'm really excited to use it. I couldn't address the rocks just yet. I mean, I could always whatnot, but I was also weak to water and electric, so I decided to take Giratina. I really like Giratina for the fact that it can spin block, it's bulky, and so it kind of fits.
Well, it's Giratina, so
Now at number 3, I really needed a rock resist, and at the point where I really wanted to go towards the sand route. So I guess because I guess all of the steals that I could have taken at like they weren't very
I'm
good
back.
steals or they were just gone. So I steals like Jirachi. I could have taken Kartana. I could have taken Scissor. Didn't want Skarmory. I think it's a little too passive for me. So I decided I had to take Excadrill. That Kartana and Scissor were gone by the time it was time for me to take that steal. Mid Sand, and I was gonna wait for Tyranitar to come back to me. And I think this is where snipes me. I believe. I think he took Tyranitar at 4. So I had to switch. I really wanted a dark type at that point, which is also why I was going for Tyranitar. But I decided to take Weavile at that point because like I needed the speed. I mean, Ho-Oh is base 90, Giratina is base 90, and Excadrill is base 88. So I'm there, which is why I took Weavile at that slot. If that makes any sense.
He took the Weavile for the legendary Metal Claw, obviously. We all know the power of Metal Claw in the final match at the final attack.
Hey, I don't know. You might see it. We'll see. But like
we definitely see it.
But just to be clear, I still don't like, and I've been trying to like think about what trades I can make for it.
So Andre,
at number five, I really need
I
to water at this
I love
point.
how Shield actually still calls you like Darian, and you just keep going.
Oh, hello, Shield.
I just got back on. I had to make lunch real quick for my parents. They're around, so.
Just on a quick side note, Darian, you really lag out sometimes, so you have cuts within your sentences. It's fine. We can follow your thoughts most of the times because it's like clear thoughts. Right? You have a clear path, but it's very tough to follow sometimes.
I'm aware. You can blame my dorm Wi-Fi for that.
Okay,
I
fuck
got
off,
a
dorm
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Because
That'll show 'em.
my school's
And he's gone for eternity or something.
returning. Okay, can quick add this new member named Chow Sky Blue because they're texting give him permissions in the server.
Who? What?
Never mind. I'll handle that.
All right.
So at
Bad.
number 5, I water type at this point. I really needed the bulky water because Ho-Oh and Excadrill are very weak to water, and I can't really rely on Giratina for my water switch-ins all. And so I decided to take Manaphy because Manaphy made the most sense for my team. I've also decided to make Manaphy one of my Z captains.
Can we get a shortcut? Why can't you rely on Giratina? That part cut off. I know why, but just so you can speak it out.
Not
again.
all the time. I can't rely.
How does it always
Like,
lag
yeah.
out there? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
So-
always lagging out like every 5 words.
But-
I'm
But I will finish the thought. He cannot rely on it all the time. Also, because probably a lot of Pokemon that use strong water types have strong ice moves, and that sucks for Giratina. I hope at least that's what he wanted to say, or something in that
yeah,
direction.
definitely. Wow, I'm probably the person that messed up this recording.
Oh, don't
I
all
worry.
good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Like, Pat joined like 1 hour 25 minutes ago, and it got downhill from there all the time because Pat is here.
Yeah, I made their lives tough because they had to switch out from German, and they were very sad. Lauren's just like, oh no, at least like we have to switch out from German now because we have an American in this. I'm just like, nice to see you too. Nice to hear from you too, Lauren.
Ich meine, ich kann weiter Deutsch
Okay.
reden, wenn du möchtest.
Ja, mach mir einfach auf Deutsch weiter.
All right. Anyways, Marion, if you can.
Darren, continue.
I'll try. I promise.
And
So-
he's gone.
I'm at halfway. I promise.
All right.
That's what the man's so
I had to take Mega Manectric at number 6. I felt that I'd be taken if I didn't come back to me. So, and I finally got my favorite Megas. I also took Nihilego at number 7 because I felt that also wouldn't come back to me, and I thought that was a really good, which I kind of needed for my team because I can't rely on Excadrill to spin away, and I get really worn down by Toxic. I figured, okay, let me make sure I take a good grounded poison. I think, and I wanted to address the status problem. I am really, really worn down by status. So the next few picks go being a grounded poison to absorb toxic spikes, Sylveon for my cleric, and because I didn't have a fairy yet, Shaman because natural cure and it's really good fire water grass core. So I have the main cores down, but I'm missing a psychic type and a fighting type at that point, and so I really had to dive into psychic and my fighting. I really wanted Mian Xiao, but I got sniped by Joshua like way earlier, like at least round 7 or 8.
Yeah, I was looking at Mean Chow too.
No.
It was a tough loss losing that one.
I was sniped 3 times by Josh, I think. Because
How
actually,
the
no, Ryan.
fuck?
No,
You guys
Ryan
are like
took
last
Aegislash
season,
and Hippo.
last few
I believe-
seasons. No, Darren. Last few seasons, everyone was like, "Oh, why the hell are you taking Mean Shao, Laurin?" And now everyone is like, "Oh yeah, Mean Shao is great." God
defense,
damn it!
In my defense, I
I wish
never
I knew what your
questioned you
defense
once.
was.
Yeah, honestly.
Also, I was not playing that season, so
That's
I couldn't.
fair.
But like, I really wanted Mian Xiao because Ho-Oh and Mian any regen core. I thought about going for other regen mons, but those got taken.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Um,
that regen core is actually like you have an offensive and defensive transition, and I'm pretty sure doesn't Ho-Oh also get U-turn as well? Just
I don't think
sake
it
of
gets
argument.
it doesn't get U-turn, but I can run
Well.
different.
This
You're not always predicting.
Shield is literally like giving the weirdest move to Pokemon. Like earlier he said something on like Lugia getting what was it like Trick Room or some shit like that. Now he wants to
I
give
didn't remember
Oh
Lugia.
U-turn. This mad
Oh,
lad.
God.
Well, I can promise you, Ho-Oh does not get U-turn.
Even so, double
Really?
even so, double regen is still is still like disgusting.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, on the topic of really weird moves, you're the one that taught Lauren. You and Pat come up with the crazy combos. Plus Ryan's also listening to, so come on, it's feeding into some of the mad scientists.
Yeah, twice. Because actually at the beginning I wanted Aegislash as well, but an Aegislash would have replaced Giratina as the spin blocker, and it was also I think schedule, but I got sniped by Ryan, and then he sniped me again by taking Hippowdon, and then Joshua sniped me twice by taking Mienshao and Tyranitar. So I was really massive hole here. Like I'm sorry.
So basically,
Dang.
thumbs up to Ryan and Josh, I guess.
Yeah, thumbs up to
Alright,
both
so-
of you.
GG's.
So the highlight match of the season is going to be Ryan and Darian, who, by the way, Ryan is still listening right now, or at least I think he is.
Yeah, I think he's still here.
Yep, I'm still here.
Ryan is probably just like laughing in the background. He'd be like, I sniped Dan. Thank you. Please keep telling me how much I sniped you.
No, I don't like my team, even though it might look good on paper, just because I could not adapt to any of the snipes that happened to me. Okay. It's a red psychic type. I took Mesprit because I actually have used Mesprit before, and I really Mesprit in the first season of the D League, and really good tier 4 and during the old tiers, and so I thought it was really good value. I still think it's really good value at tier 5. It's still bulky enough to take hits if I need it to. Rocker, and I liked its utility. And for my fighting type, I Terracross because again I'm still crippled by status, so it's a status absorber. And then that was how I finished off my team. I still think it's bad. I still want to make trades and try. Oh,
There's still, I mean, ups and downs is still like plenty of merit, especially with a backbone like that you have and the clerical support that will help you outlast other teams. That's gonna be like for some of the more offensive ones like Lawrence, and I think Luigi's because he's got Deoxys A. Like I think being able to outlast those is gonna be important. Plus Ho-Oh can, if Ho-Oh will can live through those special hits, and definitely dealing burns left and right to any non-fire mon is still going to be incredibly important. Let's see what else. Just switched over to rosters. Giratina with the Ghost Dragon coverage, just having the Ghost like Lauren was saying about like being a problem for my team, but like having the Ghost for you, or like definitely give Excadrill room, Excadrill and Weavile, and even
the Hello, definitely.
There's plenty of like star offensive mons that will definitely benefit from you having Giratina as a safe backbone there. Plus, not to mention getting Roost to recover.
Oh yeah, definitely. I also like Giratina for the fact that you can't really. Or
I lost you on that one. You said I can't really, and then you cut out, and I
but you can't do much against
can't click,
orb.
You can't knock off the orb.
Yeah,
that's
what I thought.
Right.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
which is something I actually like about Darren's team. I think while Darren's team, I feel the snipes affected his draft because there's a lot of these weird picks in there for me at least. I still think the draft can perform in the right hands. So it's this mixture of this draft sure is I don't know, it's who was it last time that had Coco Lucha on this draft?
That was Dan.
Dan basically had 6 or 7 months he played all season, and the rest of the months didn't do anything, or next to nothing.
Dan got it this season, and then he got it this season as well. He's had Coco Lucha is basically his for the long haul.
Yeah, but the last season, he only needed 6 months basically, or 7, if he wanted to switch out one thing. And
last season he drafted Sunspeed.
So that's something I can see happen with Darian's team too, where there are mons that will like outperform the others to such a degree that he's like running them over and over again, and it can work out really nicely. Because if the team has the right synergy, you only need 6 months to get like wins every time. But there will be definitely a little playing room, but I think switching out someone's like I personally don't like Mesprit. That's like Mesprit because desperate or something like that. I dislike it. Um,
Yeah,
but
because it's Spark.
I like the lol in the chat. Um, but overall, that I have to say this is a team I would never be able to play with because it doesn't fit my playstyle. Even though it's very offensive, I like these mons. I know how to handle really well, and that's something I orient my drafts around pretty much always. But this
I
team
think we already
can
know
be.
your hyper offense.
No. No one
Yeah.
knows I'm hyper offense. Who would ever think about that, mate?
I
That's
want next
crazy.
if there if
Like
we ever do season
you and I have two completely different play styles.
You play very
Because
balanced.
I would say more bulky offense. I feel that there's a offense and actual balanced.
Yeah, but so but I think this team can sure enough pull out like great victories with like these things like Ho-Oh being such a great Pokemon against the physical Pokemon because it burns basically everything. Giratina is always a strong defensive option, and it still deals tons of damage. And stuff like Weavile to revenge kill and having the priority. Nihilego can sweep an entire team if they don't look out for it. So I think the team can perform really well. I don't know how strong it is compared to different drafts I already saw. Because there are some insane drafts, like for example Shields.
Well, yeah, and then again, like I still want to make trades because I really don't like how my draft turned out, even though it might look good on paper. I want to give you Excadrill if you're willing to trade with me.
I don't want Excadrill.
Darren already out making deals. Dang.
Peace, mate.
Peace.
Yeah, like I
Oh, we
really
lost
don't
that.
think I really don't think Excadrill fits on this team. By typing wise, it does, but just like what it can do, I really don't think it team, which is why I'm trying to trade it away.
Well, let's see. You
Yeah.
got still some good ones on the table. In terms of psychic, if you were really looking at something you could sub out with Mesprit, like it's not ideal, and I'm just like throwing options that like could still work under the right circumstances. Like for example, like Alolan Raichu's on the table. I see. Psychic. I mean, if you really want it, Malamar with Contrary can still be a threat if you use it like the right way. But I mean, if you're really not satisfied with Mesprit, also
I
Meloetta
actually
on the
am.
table.
I am pretty satisfied with Mesprit. I get Stealth Rock, I get U-turn, I get knockoff with that thing. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will cut off the video after this draft because I'm going to eat dinner. Then I will probably upload the first part because otherwise it will be a massive video. And if someone wants to do it later, I will just stay in the channel muted and come back and then start recording again. I will finish up saying my thoughts on this draft real quick, and so the others can talk a little bit too, but only short, please. So I think the draft can work out pretty much. Darian is a good player. I have a lot of respect for Darian. Even though he has a negative record against me, on most ends he's still a pretty good. He's a pretty good player, and so he just like he pointed out. Oof. He's a pretty good player, and I think he can really pull out wins with that team. Um, so I'm wishing to see this team. And final thoughts of Shield?
Let's see. I'm definitely like I'm more like waiting to see like in the first couple weeks how it handles and how like what he's gonna lead off with, and like that I think will give me a better idea. There's like a lot of the thing is with most of these drafts, like many of them are great on paper. Like mine looks good, yours looks good, Darren's looks good. Like it's very easy to assess that. Like seeing how they fit together and like seeing them in action and like especially with the player who handles them is definitely going to be an deciding factor. But like as of right now on paper, I like what he's got. I know he can definitely like a couple he could shuffle, but like but there's like a plenty of good fixtures on the team that would make it already a threat even before going in. Like we were saying, like Ho-Oh, Giratina, Mega Manetric, even Sylveon has like some like but good like having like that pixelate hyper voice coverage is still like is gonna like will break right through subs. So it's like gives Darien some flexibility there. Manaphy is just like being a base 100 water all around. It just is scary in its own right because like water is like one of the being one of the like old school types is still like today still one of the most feared. Weavile for speed. Nihilego also he's taking your aliens there, Lauren.
Yeah.
Always everybody taking the aliens. But even so, like still a great special sweeper and naturally good special defensive bulk, kind of similar to Volcarona in that right, except in this case it has that beast boost to help it destroy if need be. Plus it can also set rocks too.
All
And
right,
then Heracross with
so I have
fighting.
to cut you off now because I will just go eat dinner now. So you can keep talking, but the video will stop in like 3 seconds.
No
Because
worries, that's fine.